Hello, everyone. This is Phoenix Tremaine. Today, we're going to be talking about General Hospital and all of the exits. We have 23 exits and 8 honorable mentions, and there's more to come. There's more people that are going to be leaving the show. That's what the spoilers revealed. But first, before we get into all of that, please go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button. I would like to say thank you in advance if you've done that. I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel a lot, and it's free to do. If you want to go the extra mile, go ahead and hit the membership because members got this video first. And not only did you get this video first, I sent them the list of all of the actors that have gone from the show or leaving the show and asked, did I forget anybody? And they added more people to the list that I forgot that are gone from the show because there's so many 23 people and 8 honorable mentions. So going ahead and become a member. 2025 is right around the corner, and I'm going to be adding a lot more to the membership and asking, questions and different things like that. So this is a great time to become a member, and I will see you there, hopefully, because we also have our lives on Fridays where we get to talk live and, have a good time. And so, we'd love to have you on the member side. So now I'm going to get into the people that are gone because some of us may not even realize how many people are gone, but I'm going to remove me so that you can focus on the pictures of the actors that have gone. And we're going to begin with Joyce Guy, who I feel a lot of people probably ain't thought about in over a year, but they kind of slid it past as that, oh, yeah, she moved back to Nixon Falls. Yeah, go ahead, Christina, you take over. So yeah, I just wanted to add Joyce Guy to this because they literally just mentioned her like a week or two ago that oh yeah, she's gone too. We're gonna move on to two others, Emma Sams and Tristan Rogers. Now Emma Sams has long coat, but can't say certain words on YouTube. She has an illness that causes her to do short stints on the show, and then she goes back to London. So I didn't expect Emma Samms to be around for as long as she actually was, but Tristan Rogers, who was looking a little frail, also left with her, and they gave them this Casablanca ending. I think, in case they don't come back, so they're on this list too, because why would you make Sasha uh, Robert's daughter and then they immediately leave town? It was like such a crazy thing. Oh, by the way, she's Holly's daughter and Robert's daughter, and now they're gone. Next we have Josephine Love. This was a tough one because she's clearly a sweet kid. She's a good actress. She can pull them tears out. And I feel like, she could have been like One Life to Live star Manning. This is the kind of actress that we could see grow up on screen, you know, and I don't know if they just didn't have anything to do for her to do since they got rid of her father. But she has such a dynamic with Tracy and Dante, not Dante, Tracy and um, Brooklyn and Chase. And they could have some nice family moments with this character, but they just shipped her off. Next, we have another head scratcher, Scott Reeves and Allie Mills. So they spent a year talking about Heather and getting her out of jail just for her to leave the show a week later. That was crazy. It's like they built all of that suspense and tension and what's going to happen. Trade is upset, Portia's upset. Of course, if whenever Heather finds out that Curtis used her son, that's going to lead her going down the crazy road again. So you brought Allie Mills back, who won an Emmy as Heather, and you get her out of jail in the stupidest storyline I've seen in a long time. I've seen a lot of stupid storylines of Laura and Elizabeth acting like what I call zombie characters that even the actors didn't really look like they were into the story. And then, when Heather got out, they're scared. But we don't have to deal with any of that because Heather and Steve are gone. So I know she'll eventually be back, but They did all spent all their time getting Allie out of jail, only to send her away. Another one that's a head scratcher, Adam Huss, who plays Nicholas. Nicholas could have been such a great character on a show with the drama with his baby, his relationship with Ava, even knowing that Ava didn't tell Sonny that his medication was tampered with, and now Lulu's back and Lucky's back, and Nicholas is just sitting in a hoosgow. Some of these choices, we've got characters that have so many connections that, we could use. But, here we are. Next, we have Robert Gossett as Marshall. Yeah, I think most people who watch my channel regularly know I'm not a big Marshall fan, but the man did win an Emmy, and they did him just like Bold and the Beautiful when the black father on there won an Emmy, and then they got rid of him. So, like I said, Robert Gossett, I really didn't care for Marshall character, but he's definitely another addition to the list of, being let go. Another character, Gregory Harrison as Gregory Chase. And this was such a hard one because the chemistry his character has with Tracy, and all the progress that was made with her character, with him sort of as her conscience. And they just threw it all away. I was hoping for weeks, probably months, saying they looked like they were going to say it was potentially a misdiagnosis. That way Gregory could stay on the show. But then, of course, they let him go. And then they decided, oh, this is what we'll do for the Christmas episode. Yeah, Gregory's demise. Yeah, that's what people want to see on Christmas. No. Now, this one is another potential. Adam J. Harrington as John Jagger Cates. This character, I really wish that they could have kept him. He definitely had chemistry with Ava more West until, they decided to flip the script. Now, the only reason why I can't be mad that they decided to bump off Adam J. Harrington's character is because for a long time, the rumor mill was saying Moore West's character Ava was the one they were planning to get rid of. So if I had to choose between Jagger and Ava, yeah, Jagger's the one that had to go. I need my daily dose of Ava. Next is Jacqueline Grace Lopez as Blaze. Now, Christina, I think the Blaze character could have been a really good person to be in Christina's life right now because Christina, only thing she does is complain about Molly to her mother and to Molly to her face and, be mad about Ava, but it makes her sort of like this one-dimensional character. At least if she had her love interest, then we could have gotten more of a multifaceted version of Christina. But Jacqueline Grace Lopez was let go, just like one of my favorite characters on the show, Esme. Now, every poll, I think it might have been her decision to leave. I think that's how it went down. But also, a lot of times, sometimes actors see the writing on the wall and they decide they want to try other things versus being written to a corner or written out. So Avery Pohl is Esme. I would have rather them recast it if Avery didn't want to do it anymore, because Esme was, such a good foil for Trina. Um, she would still be fighting over Ace, and a lot of things could have happened other than her and Spencer going over the boat together. So yeah, I was very disappointed that they got rid of Esme. But also, there's a lot of people that are wondering why Real Andrews as Taggart isn't used. I mean, he's on the other soap opera, The Bay, but which means, he's still a working actor. But a lot of people really believe that Curtis was really Trina's father. I mean, Taggart was Trina's father, not Curtis, and that there was something that was going to happen and come out for that to happen. But no, they just got rid of him along with a fan favorite that they had been threatening to get rid of for a while, at least twice that I know of. Ken Shriner Scott has gone on social media to say that they were letting him go. And at least twice, and only to see that the backlash led to him getting more scenes and not being let go. But this time he said, yeah, they let me go. So long-term fan favorite Ken Shriner was let go from the show. And that is very disappointing because there's so many different things that a character like Scott could do on the show as a legacy character. Another fan favorite. The reason why they broke them up is because they also got rid of Kathleen Gotti as Liesel Obrecht. You know, I love Liesel Obrecht. She could be, doing so much at the hospital right now, going up against Portia and Terry. And, so many things could be happening. Brad's back at the hospital, Kathleen, relationship with Scott could have been, a good thing. But this was one of the most disappointing um, characters that they let go and actresses they let go because she has so much chemistry with everyone that she comes into contact with. Another head scratcher is going to be Hudson West as Jake. Now, Hudson West as Jake, he just got his father back. His father can Jason only deal with one son at a time. So they sent them like right out the country. It's like, he definitely could be a foil, especially with them building back up the teen scene, the young adult scene. He's at an age where he could have been paired up with, one of the new characters that, has come along. But, they got rid of Jake, sent him to art school. And so I'm going to start with next our honorable mentions. And I'll say why they're honorable mentions rather than just on the list, because we're going to begin with one of my favorite actresses, Rena Sofer as Louis Cirillo. Now, she's not on contract, she's on reoccurring. And the fact that she moved to New York State, like, is like, she's like, they'll call me when they need me, was a huge sign that we're not going to get a lot of Lois. Now, I know they're about to reveal that Geo is Brooklyn's son, Brooklyn and Dante's son. Based on the new spoilers, Geo is going to be Brooklyn and Dante's son from when they did whatever they did at summer camp. Well, you know what they did. And Lois knows that Geo is her son, but Brooklyn doesn't know that Geo is her son. So I guess towards the end of January in the February sweeps, they'll finally reveal it. So, and I'm doing another video based on the 2025 General Hospital preview where it talks about, Geo being Brooklyn and Dante's son. So they threw Cody in there for a minute, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be Brooklyn and Dante. Next is another character that's a fan favorite that's talked about a lot, especially around the holidays, Leslie Charleston as Monica. Now, I think that, I'm sorry, Leslie has health issues. And that's probably the reason why she said when a fan asked her, you know, that she's not coming back. She said she's not coming back to General Hospital, period. So I don't know if they said something to her because she came back briefly, but now she says they're done. I felt like they could have given her a real exit storyline, something other than she's upstairs. Just saying. Lydia Look is Selena Woo. Now, we ain't seen Selena in a while, but recent spoilers for the 2025 revealed that Linda Look, who plays Selena Woo, will be back and possibly a love interest for Curtis. You know, you know, she's always kind of giving him the eye, but it sounds like, based on the spoilers, that there may be a Selena, uh, Curtis, and Portia triangle. And the reason why she's on this list is because that news just came out. She was actually in the list of actors that, were just let go from the show. But, she's been gone so long, I put her on the honorable mention list. Next is another person, Lyn Herring, who plays Lucy. Now we know that her husband in real life had Alzheimer's and died. So we know that she had to take care of him. And, they've been married. They were married since like 83, 85, something like that. So, you know, even though I didn't do a video on it, I want to say, sorry that happened and want to say well wishes to Lyn Herring and his family. And but Lucy's an honorable mention because she's coming back. So she's coming back and she's going to be involved with Sidwell. Yeah, you heard that right. Lucy and Sidwell are teaming up. Another person who was on the list, you know, because I was making this list, a couple weeks ago, and Michael E. Knight was not back on the show, but he's back on the show as Martin Gray. But, they broke him and Lucy up and sent him out of town. So he was gone for a while. Now, the reason why, well, let me finish the list and I'll tell you why these honorable mentions, the ones that are coming back, how I feel about that, and my theory on why it's happening. Because next up is James Patrick Stewart, Valentine, who is a character that is also back, and he is also back with a storyline. Um, and he was on my list of, actors that were let go a while back that we haven't seen in a while. But as of Friday's episode, he's back. And he's also in the spoilers for the 2025 preview, along with Scarlet Fernandez, who plays his daughter Charlotte. So Charlotte and Valentine are back. They were once again on my list until it was revealed in that 2025 preview that they were coming back. And now, last week they came back. And finally, definitely an honorable mention is Kelly Vibo. Now, Kelly Vibo, I loved her as Brit, and she recently revealed on social media that she asked to come back. I mean, the show that she left, Station 19 or whatever it was, the show got canceled. So, she asked to come back to General Hospital, and they told her no. We could have had Britt back with all that chemistry she had with Jason. I personally thought of a storyline that could have brought her back, or she could have came back as a lookalike. You never know, but or a long lost sister, something. But a twin, I don't know. But Kelly Thibault asked to come back to General Hospital, and he told her no, which is why I put her on honorable mentions because even though she left of her own accord, she wanted to come back. We could have had our Brit back, the Britch. And now we're moving on to the top 7 shocking exits the General Hospital has had recently, beginning with Roger Howorth as Austin. And we know Cyrus did it. We know Cyrus did it. But Roger has played so many characters on the show. Him finally being fired for real was a shocker to a lot of us. Austin was not a character that worked. And I personally noticed and commented that a lot of actors simply weren't doing scenes with him. It's like actors he worked with in the past. I don't know if they refused to work with him or whatever that situation was, but it was noticeable on screen that there were less and less people for him to work with until finally there was nobody. So I can't 100% say that the show screwed us by getting rid of Roger because I don't know what happened behind the scenes. But as a person who had a production company for like 30 years now, and I've been dealing with actors for 30 years. I know there's things that happen behind the scenes that we don't know of, but I do notice certain things, like things that have had to happen in my production when certain actors don't want to work with certain actors. And I gotta rewrite storylines and crap to try to make it work. That was just giving me a little deja vu. But once again, it's speculation. I don't know if that's what happened, but it wouldn't shock me if it was. Michael Easton is Finn. Now, Michael Easton did not mince words when he was fired. He said being let go from the show was a shock to him. He did not know it was going to happen. And now, in this list of seven major characters that are gone, Michael Easton was another shocker because just like Roger, he was multiple characters on the show, and he's a fan favorite. And they blindsided him when they let him go. Evan Hoffer as Dex is another one that had a lot of potential. They seemed like for a few seconds they might put him with Molly, which would have been good. I would have loved to see Molly and Dex together, but they got rid of his character, and it was a shocker. Along with the number four, Nicholas Alexander Chavez. I was completely shocked when Nicholas chose not to return to the show as Spencer. I know that he's got an upward trajectory. He got a major managing firm working with him now. He's done some major projects that are front and center, you know. So I wish him luck in all his endeavors because as an actor, some actors don't want to spend the rest of their life on soaps, and it's no longer guaranteed that soaps will always be there. And he's young, so I get it. But, they didn't recast Spencer. They gave us Geo. But moving on, another shocker that took fans off guard was Kelly Monaco with Sam. Um, Sam has such a huge fan base, and the ratings since her character was bumped off have dropped tremendously. Kelly Monaco's fans definitely are letting the show know that they're upset that Sam is no longer on General Hospital. They even started saying Sam has a look-alike, and she's played multiple characters too. So they're like, yeah, that was really that other character from Port Charles. That wasn't her. So Kelly Monaco does have a way back if they really, really, really want to bring her back. They could say that was the lookalike and Sam's actually kidnapped somewhere. So for Sam fans, his fingers crossed. But my take on it was Kelly looked like she was ready to go. I'm sure she liked that paycheck, but I believe that Kelly is beautiful. She is talented, and I would like to see her on the big screen. I like to see her in prime time. I like to see maybe on a sitcom something. Kelly Monaco, there was a time when she won the first season of Dancing with the Stars where she had a lot of opportunity and could have left the show, but she stayed. So, 20, I think it was almost 20 years. It was like she was like 3 days before her 20th anniversary or something like that, that they got rid of the character. So Kelly, fingers, toes, everything is crossed that she gets the Anne Heche, Demi Moore, Lawrence Fishburne, and all the other actors that started on soaps and became big, big stars. So hopefully, same will happen to Kelly. And next is Chad Duell as Michael. This is the most recent shocker that they got Michael in this major storyline. Sasha's pregnant. He cheated. Willow cheated. His war with Drew. There's now saying his deadly plan is going to go up in smoke. So either they're going to go to Morgan route and Michael will be missing, or they're going to do what they did when the kid that was playing Michael before him, ended up in a coma. And when he woke up, it was Chad Duell playing the role. So they're either going to Lulu him and put him back in a coma, or they're going to have him missing like Morgan. But they definitely said the door is open for Chad to come back. So it is not a definitive exit. Also, he's been a little coy. Steve Burton and Bradford Anderson, their talk show. This is what the clip is from. The picture is from. He was on their talk show where he said he has like a, um, a lot that he's doing in his personal life that he wants to do, like career he wants to do, and he has like a beauty care line coming out, or it's already out. So there's a lot of things he wants to do outside of General Hospital. But once again, the door is open for him to return. So this could even be a planned temporary exit. But of course, he is the next shocking person. Now, technically, he could be an honorable mention, but we know Cyrus Days is numbered. We know Cyrus Days is numbered because they're not going to have him get rid of Sam McCall and Dex. You know how many people, when the truth comes out, there's no way he can survive what's coming. So I had to put Jeff Kober on this list because just like they did Adam J. Harrington as John Jagger Cates, where they made him so villainous and so vile that they wanted fans to be happy when he exited. So Emmy winner Jeff Kober, there's no way that he was going to last past maybe February sweeps, May sweeps at the most. But Cyrus Ronaldo has been written into a corner. And here's the thing, in the January 25 preview, they revealed that Cyrus is going to have at least another victim, which is where I'm going to leave this because in the comment section, who do you think they're referring to? Who is going to be Cyrus' next victim? Okay, I'm actually back because I realized that I did not conclude what I had started to tell you about how I feel about these honorable mentions, the ones that are coming back, like how they use Lois, Lydia Look, Lydia Look returning Selena Woo, Lyn Herring is Lucy, Michael B. Knight is Martin, James Patrick Stewart is Valentine, Scarlet Fernandez is Charlotte. The reason why I put them in honorable mentions, even though they're actually coming back, is because this reminded me so much of what goes on Days of Our Lives. If you don't know, Days of Our Lives actually has a rotating schedule so that we learn when Kristen Alfonso didn't want to leave the show because they told her, look, we're going to take you off for about 6 months, which means 6 months of no pay, and then we'll bring you back with a bigger story. And that sort of highlighted how characters like Kristen and John before he passed, and Steve, and you just certain characters like Trip, they just sort of, they have a story and then they're gone. And then they have a story, and then they're gone again. And like Sarah, they were rotating these characters in and out the show, and it's a cost measure that they do to for the budget. And I know a lot of people complain with characters like Geo and maybe Kai, these new characters that they begin to spotlight is because they're cheaper actors. You know, paying, let's say, um, James Patrick Stewart as Valentine, what they would pay him for a scene versus somebody like Gio for a scene, I'm sure it's night and day. So for some soaps, this is a cost-cutting measure. Even when it came to Rena Sofer, who played Quinn on Bold and Beautiful, they did the same thing to her. They wanted to put her on recurring and said, "We don't have a story for you right now, but we'll eventually get to it." We've seen Bold and Beautiful do that with so many different actors as well. Like, I wasn't a fan of the character, but where's RJ? So, for example, so Rena, like Kristen, refused to stay on a show where they don't even know what they want to do with her, you know. So, she went over to General Hospital and, she's on recurring and I'm sure they have something going on for her with this whole Geo being Brooklyn's kid and she knows it, but Brooklyn doesn't know it. All that stuff is about to come out. So I'm just wanted to add that sometimes I know characters are rotated out. And we're used, soap goers such as myself, been watching for so long. A lot of times we don't even realize it that, okay, so they just rotated this character out. And, but they'll be back down the line like they're doing Allie Mills as Heather. They pretty much told you Heather was going to return at a later date. But I'm used to Days of Our Lives doing this. I'm even used to Bold and Beautiful doing this. They currently rotated out Sheila, which is why you barely see Sheila. So I notice more soaps are doing this as a, cost cutting measure. So, in the comment section, let me know which actors on General Hospital or any show do you realize that they're rotating them in and out. Kevin on General Hospital gets rotated out a lot. So yeah, let's go on ahead and talk about that in comment section. Have you noticed certain actors have been rotated in and out of the show on a regular basis? And also, did I miss anybody? Did I miss any characters that were, fired from the show or, left the show without any real reasoning? So you saw my list, 23 exits that happened and 8 honorable mentions. And let me know in the comment section your choices, your things, who rotates out for you, what actors that I missed that aren't on this list that also got, kicked off the show. And I will see you in the next video.